So what skill does Russell Westbrook have? There's generally, in baseball, they'll call you the 5 tools, right? Hit, power, field, catch, and you can run, right? Those are the 5 tool players, guys that can do all of these. They're very rare. Usually if you're a power guy, you're not a speed guy. If you're a speed guy, you're not a power guy. But you do have guys like Mike Trout who pretty much qualify as a 5-tool player. You had Matt Kemp during the prime of his career. He was a 5-tool player. These are guys, they just can do it all. Russell Westbrook, to the average fan, would be considered a 5-tool player. He just averaged a triple-double. He averaged 30 points. He led the league in scoring. 10 plus rebounds. 10 plus assists. But just because he put up the stats, does that actually make him a 5-tool player or a guy who can do it all on the basketball court? Let me be very clear. I'm a huge, and I mean huge, Russell Westbrook fan. He is probably one of my 2 favorite players to watch. When him and Derrick Rose were first coming up, I thought it was going to be some of the most exciting play we've seen in the NBA in a while. And if you watch me or you know me, you know I'm not even a fan of that particular style of point guard where there's the score first mentality, but those 2 guys were just so otherworldly athletic and exciting that I was willing to look past that. But if we look at the skills of basketball, what would be considered the 5-tool player in the NBA, does Westbrook qualify? Shooting the basketball? He's not a great shooter. Passing the basketball? He's kind of hit and miss. He's more of the Allen Iverson drive to the rim and dish it off the last second because the double team and triple team came. He's not a Magic Johnson type passer. He's not a Ricky Rubio or Steve Nash type passer. Hell, he might not even pass as some of the big men do in the league now if you look at a Nurkic and a DeMarcus Cousins. Rebounding? Yeah, you can make the case that he's a top tier rebounder, especially for his position and size. That he has that tool. His scoring, I don't think of him as one of the elite scorers. I almost feel like, and most people I believe feel like he's in a position where he just kind of has to score, which is why his percentages aren't that great, and he has more of a volume scoring mentality, but it's almost volume scoring by necessity, not volume scoring by Kobe or Mike having to take 25, 30 shots and seeing where it got them. Defense? He's not a good defensive player. He's not. Russell Westbrook has one of those 5 tools. Where his true skill is, and he might be the greatest of all time at, is his hustle. He might be the greatest hustle player in NBA history. And I know that sounds crazy, and everyone's going to sit there and say, you can't say a guy who averaged a triple-double, led the league in scoring, that is a hustle player. Why can't I call him a hustle player? What do hustle players do? Hustle players get the points that other guys won't get because they're not one to give the effort. Hustle players get the rebounds that other guys won't get because they're not one to get the effort. And they make the extra play that the guy won't because of effort. Isn't that Russell Westbrook in a nutshell? He's the best rebounding guard in the league because he's willing to outwork everybody and he's willing to run up and down the court for 40 minutes. His scoring is a result of being relentless, despite not being a great shooter. I always make the argument that with LeBron's athleticism kind of disqualifies him from certain conversations because I don't believe LeBron could score on LeBron, but simply due to the fact that LeBron is 6'8", 6'9", 260, 270 pounds, there's just not a whole lot of human beings stopping that. And Russell Westbrook is built like a 6'3" LeBron. So at 6'3", 220, 225, a lot of muscle mass, insane athlete. There's just not a lot of people stopping that. And because he plays with such a ridiculous high motor and high energy, some of these things that he does is more based off his hustle and will than it is off his skill. Let me be very clear. Westbrook is one of my favorite players in the league. But the reason why he's one of my favorite players is because he hustles and works his ass off night after night, just like any hustle player does that's in the league. If you heard or saw anything that you liked, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I said, or you like me, or you're just like, hey, he looks weird, I'm gonna follow him anyway, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys next time.